at some point they used to say in Nigeria, the pressure is getting worse. What does that mean? Why? It's getting intense, actually, because in a few hours, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be filing out against the Bafana of South Africa, and we want to do it again. That's why we have the media officer of the Super Eagles of Nigeria joining us to have this conversation on the preparations ahead of this particular very all-important encounter. He did say last time that a win is a win, even if it's a 0.001%, is fine by it. Victory is all he wants. Babafemi Raji joins us all the way from Bwaka. Babafemi Raji, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Yeah, so I must say congratulations as against the last time, because you were not interested in the scoreline. You were just interested in victory. And eventually we got that victory, although we were excited initially that Osimhen has finally gotten a goal. But you know what it is. It wasn't allowed. But let's talk about preparations. How are the Eagles getting ready for this particular encounter this evening, I should say?
Yeah, well, I'm absolutely ready, mentally ready, because the key thing here is having it here. Mentally ready for this game. We've been able to surmount every hurdle. It gets to a stage like this, a lot of things come up, like the coach keeps saying. The key thing that happens is fatigue. And there are two, it comes in two forms, mental and physical. It's easier to deal with the physical fatigue, but the mental fatigue is the tougher one to deal with. And we've been trying to ensure the players are in the right frame of mind for this game, and hopefully at the end of 90 minutes today, we don't plan to go the extra time or penalty shootout. At the end of 90 minutes today, Nigerians are celebrating.
Amen. I don't know if that was a prayer, but I've said amen.
Already,
typical
right?
Nigerian, I've said amen to that one, and I imagine a lot of Nigerians with a resounding amen to that one. We had a scare at first with Osimhen, the trouble with his stomach. And a lot of people went into prayer and fasting mode. Again, typical Nigerian reaction. And it looked like it worked, because now we understand that Osimhen is now fit for the match later today. But it raises the question, it's not just a one-man show. It's a whole team thing, from the goalkeeper, defenders, the midfield, then the striker. They always say strikers win the game, but defenders win you the tournament, or they win the league. So I'd like you to speak to us about the coordination in the team. We watching at home, we always feel the pressure. I can imagine the players themselves. So speak to us about the coordination. How are we approaching this game? Yes, there can be all of the banter on social media about whether or not Nigerians should celebrate in South Africa. But importantly, what does this mean to Nigeria? I think that's the point I wanted to make. What does this victory mean to Nigeria? I said victory.
Yeah, the victory means everything. It means everything to us. I remember we said we're going to do it again. And every game, Shelley all got to the finals from the round of 16. That was the first final, the quarterfinal, the second final. This is our third final. We're taking it one game at a time, and we're taking it with our feet on the ground. We don't want to let each victory we've been able to get so much or turn into balloons into our heads that makes us float. We are not floating. We are keeping our feet on the ground. The players have their feet on the ground, knowing fully well that we are just 2 games away from being champions again in Africa. So in terms of coordination, we all know it's also a team event. Football is a team sport. Each unit is very important to the collective goal of the team. So that is why we ensure we look out for each person. Yes, it was an abdominal discomfort, and the medics saw him and said he was unable to fly as at the night we left Abidjan for Bouake. And then yesterday, he was told, okay, he could fly, and he joined us in training. He was assessed again just before training, and he had a wonderful training session. We look out for each other. It's not about this being the key man, that being the key man. Every member of a team has a unique function, and together we are all trying to ensure each function is collated, and then we achieve our goal. So the coordination is really deep, and Nigerians will enjoy the best of it. at the end of 90 minutes today and at the end of 90 minutes on Sunday.
Amen.
And so shall it be. Speaking of the uniqueness of each player, we hear that Coach Pesero has been speaking on the absence, the void left by two players, Kelechi Iheanacho and Joe Aribo. Is there any update in that regard that you can provide?
Update on Kelechi and Joe Aribo. They are members of the team. It's good to go. There was a time the coach was asked about Kelechi, and then he told them, he said, see, if he's looking for goals, he knows who to put in. And he also said he knows Kelechi will still get a chance to play and then get to score. One thing we know, like from my own end there, is if it's not broken, you don't fix it. Once you have a unit that is moving, and then there are no injuries, and then there's really no deep pressure for you to go into your reserve, then there's no need to change it. I gave an example to someone. You're driving a car, fine, you know you have spare. Your spare must always be as good, spare tire, as good as your main tire. Will you just stop one day and say, it's 2 weeks already, I've not used my spare tire, make I change tire? You can't. You have to keep moving. And that is the way it is. And I'm sure the coaches know when the time comes, and when it's time to dig deep to get this done. Definitely, every member of the team is important, whether you're on the bench, whether you're playing regularly, the officials, and every other thing. So the coach cleared the air on that. And when that time comes, surely the players that should get playing time will get the playing time.
So perhaps some people are thinking that Osimhen actually looked tired at some point before he finally got injured and all of that. Could it be that besides the explanation you gave is one of the motivation for the team, because there are certain people, as much as everybody's important, it just gives that boost to and energy to the players to continue fighting despite the challenges?
Yes, definitely. If you check out this sport, it's a sport of fighters, battlers. The intensity is massive. And if you notice, it's about how intense we can be in our games. But the coach keeps telling them, last time says, if you are tired, please indicate, let me know. Because you can tell the player, you can see from outside and say, oh, this person is tired. And the person tells you, no, I can still go on. Once the person says, no, I can still go on, that is where the mental strength is. And the medics already assess and say, okay, can go on. So when they say, I can still go on, allow the person goes on, and then we experience intensity. The key thing here, most battles are won here first, in the head, before we get to the field of play.
Okay, countdown continues, of course. We can talk about a previous match. I'm talking about both teams now. We saw what played out with the South African game, especially when it came to penalties and, well, the performance by the South African goalkeeper. So a lot of people are saying, may this not go to penalties. That is a prayer for a lot of people. Don't let this go to penalties. But guess what? We have our goalkeeper, Nwabali, who has been phenomenal in this competition. So for those nursing fears that, hey, if this gets to penalties, it might be tough, what would you have to say to them?
Well, remember, I know for one that penalties are always a 50-50 chance, whether you like it or not. There is no one you would call a penalty specialist in terms of goalkeeping or in terms of taking such penalties. And why think of penalty when you can wrap it up in 19 minutes? We've wrapped up our games within 19 minutes, being very modest, and it's a job we can do within 19 minutes. So why bother ourselves about what happens after 19 minutes? Even if it gets to 120 minutes, we have 30 minutes extra to make it up. Why think of what will happen after extra 30 minutes? So let's be very positive that within 90 minutes we'll clean it up, and then we'll get Nigerians into the ecstatic feel by getting a wonderful victory. We just want to win, that is it. Even if it's by, like I said, 0.1 goals, and then we're able to hold on to the 0.1 goal. Let's get the win and then get to the final and play in Abidjan on Sunday.
Babafemi Raji, thank you so much. And maybe you extend to the boys. I know you have communication with them that we lost at the Grammys. That should be a main motivation. We had 5 Nigerians and 1 South African, and she took the day at the very first time that particular category was created. So, hey, we look out for the Super Eagles today, and we hope And we hope that Coach Posero will join us when we finally do it again for the 4th time. So those are 2 messages. Tell the coach we'd like to have him on the show when we win, and also tell the boys we lost at the Grammys, so they have to win tonight. If not, the dragging.
So South Africa has won the Grammy. South Africa must not win the AFCON.
Our Ghana brothers and Cameroonians are waiting for us, so you get the message. Babafemi Raji, media officer of the Super Eagles, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Yeah, thanks so much.
We wish you the very best. Absolutely, let's do it again.
Guys, we can't forget, because they have warned us that you guys cannot win.
We're waiting for you.
Well,
we must not lose the bragging rights, Jeffrey.